So if it's going to be a shakeout and come back up, it should come back up immediately, beginning the very next day. If the next day it breaks down even further, then I would be gone. I'd be done with it and just wait for another base to form. Now, and if the stock by the end of the week is 40% off the bottom of that weekly spread, is generally a good point to buy aggressively because it was an effective shakeout that shook out the weak holders, and you can go in and take advantage of that. So the poster child for this kind of action for me is Acme Packet, which was a stock I traded aggressively during 2010 and 2011. It was one of the biggest winners during that time frame, moving up over 500%. And you can see that each time it pulled back to the 50-day moving average, it undercut it and looked terrible. On this day here, it closed at the low of the range below the 50-day. Over here, it had a kind of an upside reversal, and then the next day hit another low, closing in the upper part of the range. A number of days here, intraday below the 50-day, here below the 50-day. So it was an incredibly difficult stock to hold and manage properly, but the character of the stock was that it would shake out for several days under the 50-day. It never got too far away from it. So you can see that on those days that it broke the 50, it pretty much immediately came back up. So again, if it continued to break down, you know that it's not right. But I always have this in mind when I own a stock that's flirting with the 50-day moving average, because if you wait till the end of the week on each of these occasions, you can see that each of those 4 occasions turned out to be strong supporting action and a shakeout. So again, waiting till the end of the week with at least part of your position can keep you in a great winner. And again, once you lose your position in a stock, you lose some confidence as well. And it's very difficult for most people to cut a position on weakness and then buy it back on strength, especially given the fact that many times the stock will shake you out, kind of move back up, you'll get back in, and then it'll shake you out again. It might pull back to the 50-day again on multiple occasions. So, it's really hard to recover a position that you've completely unwound. So moving back to Zoom, and I was trading it during that time. By the end of the week, the stock actually moved up and closed 47% off the low on a pickup in volume. So it was, in effect, an effective shakeout. And look what happened after that. So the very next day, it gained strength and moved back up. And the stock really never looked back. It never really gave you a great time to buy unless you were buying it here. Just